Oh, my name is Kari, thank you, my coach, with Jungle Friends Primate Sanctuary, and we're in Gainesville, Florida, and we have monkeys. And one thing the most important thing that I can tell you is to make a plan. And don't start a hippo sanctuary if there are no pet hippos. You know, if your favorite animal is a hippo or a certain, and that's what you're going to start a sanctuary for, but there isn't a need for that. There are so many animals in need. Always make sure that you're choosing your species carefully. Jungle Friends has New World monkeys, and you'd be surprised, as I was, how many New World monkeys there are, and all of the problems that can cause with different species and disease-related problems that you can have. Like, for example, in our sanctuary, we have spider monkeys and squirrel monkeys. Let me just carry this up like that. And the spider monkeys and the squirrel monkeys carry a virus that's natural to them that can kill the marmosets and the tamarins. I didn't know that. I just said yes to any New World monkeys that could come and found out later. So I had to move certain species to a different area and have special people working with that species, or bleach your shoes and take a shower before you go and deal with the other species. So you want to check in to learn as much as you possibly can about the animals that you want to care for, because there are so many different problems that you can run into. Another problem, I used to take everything, lions and tigers and wolves, and I'd have them right by the monkeys. Well, you've got predator-prey problems, and you've got, the monkey's afraid the tiger's going to eat them. So be thinking about that. Have enough time and land where you can do right by the animals so that they're not living in fear. They've already had too much trauma and problems that you want to be able to give them the best life ever. And you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do whatever it takes? And that's a lot. It's going to take everything you've got and then some. So you need to find out. The best thing that I tell people to do is intern at different sanctuaries. Every sanctuary is different. Every sanctuary has different philosophies and has different problems. As a primate sanctuary, we get a lot of the expats. So one of our big problems are diabetic monkeys. People feed them garbage. They don't give them a good diet. So they end up with diabetes. Now, we've had a lot of monkeys come to Jungle Friends that were on insulin. All of them except for one, which is Connie right here. Oh, I think I can. There's Connie. She still gets insulin injections. Now, because they're wild animals, you need to figure out, how am I going to catch this monkey? How am I going to be able to give this monkey injections? How can I take care of the monkey if there's a problem? So we've just devised some systems. We call this our forking system. We have forks where we can squeeze them and give them an injection and let them out. It happens very quickly. They can get out. Now she will, because she knows she gets a treat after her injection, she'll actually go up and pull the fork in and give them a grape. So there are things that you can do and learn to do that won't make it so traumatic for the animals. And you have to be very creative and ingenuitive. We've had monkeys, again, diabetic monkeys can suffer as people from a lot of different problems. Pneumonia. Connie and Buddy have both had pneumonia. So I had a friend, there's Larry, who was a scuba diver. I need oxygen, so he brought over his tanks, and we fixed up this kind of a little oxygen tank thing, and we put a humidifier here because oxygen that you scuba dive with is too dry and it's too expensive to get the other. So then you have to be willing to sleep with the monkeys throughout the night and changing out oxygen and doing whatever you need to do. So you need to be really somebody that can do what it takes and be real ingenuitive. Another thing, you're going to have to be willing to see things that you just don't want to see. People call, somebody died, they had some monkeys that they found on the property that they were used in breeding. And these were cotton-top tamarins. We had to lighten this picture so much because it was so dark in there, and this is where they lived for I don't know how many years. And it was so filthy dirty. The cage was such a mess. We actually had to cut the cage to get the monkeys out. But we got them out, and the good thing about it is then you get, there's Einstein and Tara, that's the little monkeys that were in there. And they're doing great, and you give them a wonderful place to live, and you see them going outside. So that's very exciting. And then laboratory research. We also take a lot of monkeys from laboratory research, and this is a lab that I went to and met Howard for the first time, who is almost blind. So you have to be able to go into the labs and steel yourself. And me and one of our interns went and cried all the way home because when we asked if we could take the Capuchins, retire them after they were finished with their iron toxicity studies, and here's Howard now at Jungle Friends, they said no, that the endpoint was death. So it was very hard to do. So you have to do some hard things, but and plan exactly what your mission is, and define it. What is your mission, and what are you here for, and why are you doing it? And let people know what you're doing exactly before they come in and want to help you. Define your philosophies and your values. This is something that I learned too late. I didn't really design all of my philosophies. I had them, I knew what I wanted, and thought everyone would think the same way that I did, until little Kari came in, who was a little monkey in the pet trade, who couldn't stand on her own, couldn't eat on her own, couldn't drink on her own, couldn't do anything on her own. So we would give her motion exercises every hour, or every 2 hours we would go and do range of motion exercises. We would feed her, we'd clean her and weigh her every day, and people thought that was ridiculous. Well, why don't you just euthanize her so another monkey can take her space? Now, there are different philosophies. I don't say anyone is right or anyone is wrong. My heart could not do such a thing. So we took care of Kari until she died of old age, and she was an old monkey. So we have a hospice philosophy, which is the only time we will do any kind of euthanasia, and fortunately, on knock on wood, we've never had to do that. We will give them, we won't prolong their life, but we're not going to end their lives either. We'll give them what they need, medicine for pain, or whatever they need to be able to live pain-free. But, I mean, we would take Kari, she was the only girl with all the male monkeys, because they were all from laboratory research, and they were all males. And we would show all the boys, and they'd just show off their manhood to her, and they were all puffed up. We're so excited to see a girl. So, everybody had a good time. So she did really great. And the needs for sanctuaries it's worse and worse. Every year it gets worse and worse. Because people think this is really cute to have a pet monkey. Pet mandrill, nice mandrill in the living room. And the problem is that they get these pet monkeys, and then they grow up and they have these giant teeth, and then someone ultimately gets hurt. And we have a lot of pet monkey attacks. This little boy here, the woman was asked if she was concerned about the monkey that lived down the street, and she said, no, I was more concerned about the lion that lived next door. So you have all kinds of problems, and this is a woman that was attacked by a little 5-pound Capuchin monkey who still doesn't have the use of her left thumb. So that is one of the reasons people give up their monkeys, and because funding is very difficult. One of the things that you want to do is find free help. So we have internship programs that we have people come from all over the world and come and live at the sanctuary and do internship programs too. And then you want to give the monkeys as natural an environment as you can. Find out about where they live in the wild and give them as close to that as you possibly can. Give them a naturalistic environment. Monkeys like to be in the trees. They're arboreal, so you want to give them trees and bushes and ground to dig in, and things to swing on, and bugs to catch. And so you want to make sure that you know how they live naturally. We can't give them back their birthright. We can't let them go back to the wild. But we want to do as close to that as we possibly can by giving them as much as we can. And when we've thought we've done everything we possibly can, you get to do even more. So, and the thing about it is, people say, oh, it's such hard work, and it's, how can you do this? You never get to leave. Well, I'm here, so I do get to leave once in a while, but it's so rewarding. You can't imagine how rewarding this is when you can see a monkey come in who can't even move, who's had his fingers cut off so he wouldn't pick his lock, or dying of diabetes. And then you get to have them be able to have another life. It's a wonderful life. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I want to encourage everyone, if you want to do this, please let me know, because we will all help you. We're desperate for more sanctuaries, and we'll help you in every way we can start and run a successful sanctuary. Thank you.